Well, hello there, Konnichiwa, good morning to you all. So, I now came for the review of Arata Kangatari episode 6. And this was a great episode of Arata Kangatari. Finally, the story leaps forward quite a bit. And then this episode starts as the last one ended, with Akashi talking with Ohika, the Zokushu of Kannagi, and he was there to make Ohika submit and to have his hayagami. And his wife, his pregnant wife, was in the room also, and behind the curtains we have Kanate, Arata, uh, the girl, and the servant Oni of Oika. And when Oika kind of feels that Arata and his group is still there, he only then agrees to submit to Akashi. But before that, Akashi uses his Okoro and kinda traps him and his wife. And then the Oika decides to submit, and he hands over his life and his Ayagami to Akashi. And then we have two servant girls that came on the room, and they are immediately killed by Akashi. And then he also kills the wife of Oika and his unborn child. And then he kinda cuts the curtain, and we see Arata, the Kanate, and the other two girls. And then when he was right to going to attack them, we see Kannagi appearing, and they fight each other. Akashi uses Okuru, Kannagi uses Omura, and the fight is pretty intense, pretty fantastic. Omura is a Ayagami of fire that belongs to Kannagi, and I think that Okuro, the Ayagami of Akashi, is rock. I think it's rock. And then they fight, and in the end, Akashi apparently he goes on saying that the battle for the throne already starts, and that he already have submitted all the Zokusho that were servants of Kannagi, and the last one that remained was Oike, and now Kannagi no longer has any Zokusho to serve him. And at the end of the battle, even Kannagi loses his Omura, and the Omura is kinda absorbed by Akashi. And then he goes torturing him for a while. Kannagi tries to fight back using hand-to-hand combat, but he is not able to land a blow. We have a small flashback about when both were younger, and apparently they knew each other since very younger age, and they trained together. And apparently there was a girl called Emizu that kinda died. I guess she dies on Omura's flames, but apparently this guy Akashi kinda liked her, but she liked Kannagi, and he's kinda trying to get revenge of Kannagi because the girl died. Partially, I guess that's some of the explanation why he attacked Kannagi, besides the fact that he most likely wants to become a king, obviously. Um, then he kinda spares Kannagi and Akashi leaves. And then we have Arata, and Arata again has confront with himself because he does not want to become a show like Akashi, and he does not want to kill people and hurt others just to become the king, and he kinda has another conflict inside of him. Then the one that kind of cheer him up is Kanate. Uh, this appears later, near the end of the episode, and then the the girl. Um, Now I cannot remember. Kotoa. The girl Kotoa kinda goes and explains to Arata that she remembers the story that the the elder woman of his family told that there was a hayagami that does not have any power to wage war, but is the sword of origins Tsukuyo, and apparently that is the name of the hayagami that Arata has. Is a sword that kinda brings hope and makes others kinda submit voluntarily to his will and not in a forced way like Akashi did, or by stalling or killing the user of the Ayagami. And that's very interesting. And then we have a scene that Arata kinda calls Tsukuyo, and the sword shines with even greater radiance. So that's the name of the Ayagami of Arata, and that's very good story progression. We have also two scenes with the Arata of that parallel world in our world. The first one is with the guy that was a friend of Arata, and he borrowed a game of him in the first episode. He appeared in this episode, and kinda he was spying Arata, and the Arata of the parallel world that is in our world kinda see that, and then the guy runs and Arata goes after him, and then they have a small exchange of words, and the guy kinda the uh, gives again the game that he borrowed to Arata, and goes off. And then we have a second uh, snapshot, let's say in that way, with Arata at school or at the gates of the school, and he's kinda greeting the guy that was kinda pursuing Arata in the first episode. So I guess in the next episode we will have some action with the Arata of the parallel world in our world and in school. But I think that on Amakuni, that's the parallel world, Arata, Kotoa, Kanate uh, will go try to hunt down Akashi, I guess, because at the end of the episode, Arata kind of decided to make or to take Omura and the other Ayagami that Akashi stole from Kannagi. He kind of decides to retrieve them, and he kind of decides or accepts the fact to that he needs to become the king, basically to prevent the slaughter like the one that Akashi did with Zokushu and the families of the ones that were serving Kannagi. So this episode was a great episode. We have a great battle between Kannagi and Akashi. We have also more in-depth development in regardings of the story about Kannagi and Akashi and their past. We also learn the name of the hayagami of Arata, and we learn his powers. So it was a very good episode. Uh, Akashi clearly is bad stuff. Kannagi, at the end, I kind of feel sorry for the guy because he loses his domains. He did loses his own friends, and especially this last one, Oika. It was apparently a very close friend of Kannagi. So I kind of feel sorry for Kannagi and about what happened to him. However, we cannot forget that he was the one that jumped at the princess at the start and almost murdered her. Well, she is not completely dead. She is in kinda a suspense animation, but I guess that after Arata goes to the capital, most likely the princess will die and will pass his power to him, most likely. So I kinda feel sorry for Kannagi for one side. However, it's kinda poetic justice the fact that the guy he trusted most, Akashi, and the guy is knew since his childhood, is the one that actually betrayed in the end and take all the Zokusho that belong to Kannagi. He killed them and grabs their Ayagamis, and he even grabbed Kannagi Ayagami Omura. So it was a good development. I don't know what will happen to Kannagi in the future. I don't know if he will also try to hunt down Akashi or if he will be in some way helping Arata, Kotoa and Kanafi. I don't know. Also, we have the introduction of a third character. Just a small panel, small frame with him. It's a guy with blue hair and apparently kind of controls water. I think I guess it's one of the others of the 12 Shinshu, and I guess is the guy that appears in the introduction when we see Kannagi Akashi and the third guy with blue hair. I guess it's that guy. So the question is, in what position will be that guy? Will he try to do the same as Akashi? Will he fight against Akashi? Will he in some way help Arata? Did he will try to kill Arata? And what will happen to Kannagi? So this episode was very good, was very intense. Yes, it was also very bloody in some way, but it was a very good episode with very good story progression at several levels. So this is my review for Arata Kangatari episode 6. Hope you enjoy. Stay well. Peace.